Hello everybody, new name here, playing his favorite game, Watch Your Realms. And in this installment of my Vanquisher three-part series to help people get that Gear Raid Stage 18 all done for all three, we're going into Gear Raid 1. And I haven't been here in a while, so it's been reskinned and there's a slightly different mechanic. There used to be those exploding bum bugs that came out of spawns and then you would kill everything. But apparently now well, I've seen it, but there's ballistas that take off that I don't know if you can kill them or not, but it's not necessary. But for full transparency, I have an overpowered account. I would slaughter this with two heroes. I could probably solo it with Comet. That's not going to help anybody. So what I'm going to show you is the lineup and the gear before we get into this without the power of dominance on to show you how achievable it is, bringing the correct strategy. Excuse me. So I'm going to hopefully assume that you have some sort of a vortex, okay? On my vortex, I've got a pretty wimpy artifact at stage 10 here, or level 10, okay? And his gear is a mix match of items with you'll be like, oh, but you've got an ancient chest. Yes, but it has no main stat. It's got crit rate. Doesn't do anything for the healer, okay? So for full transparency, the only item available on this hero that isn't available from a stage 18 is no no attack speed. Okay, so I have a strong vortex, but he's not overpowered. Okay, so the other healer I'm bringing is Lightlock, and before he got nerfed, this healer was the one that you brought. You'd solo heal this, no problem. Okay, so he's in an Asclepius set. Okay, and then I forget the name of this one, the Salvation Weapon, but you can get the Asclepius from like stage 16 Gear Raid 3. It's very attainable. Okay, and he's got the unupgraded version of a crappy artifact. And for full transparency, okay, it's a decent ring, yeah, but like this neck, it's not really that good. Okay, this this is good, but none of that is hard to get. It's stage 16 items. Okay, if you're trying to do stage 18 Gear Raid 1 and you don't have access to the Asclepius, I don't know how I can help you. Okay, you have to build your way up the mountain. You got to take a step at a time. Okay. So we're going to go into the two fighters that I'm going to bring. And Abomination is one of them. And yes, you'll see he's got some kind of ancient artifacts, but you can pick these up from stage 17, stage 18, okay? So this is attainable. Now, this Scarlet Hunt artifact isn't going to do anything except add base stats, all right? I can't help the fact that my A-Bomb, he's got an Awakening. Okay, he's an Awaken 2. Why the Awaken 1 matters is this stun right here. All right, he's going to stun for half a second. And it helps. It helps keep your wall intact. And then I think I'm bringing Wrath. So we're going to look quickly at the gear on Wrath. And you'll be like, oh man, but you've got two of these items that are, from stage 19, Gear Raid 3. Okay? I could put other items on. You're going to see it doesn't really matter. Wrath doesn't do the damage that A-Bomb's going to do. Okay? It's just there because I don't really have any other items I can put on these people. I don't have crappy gear left. Okay? I have crappy endgame gear. So now I'm going to show you the healers that I'm bringing, or sorry, the mages that I'm bringing. Okay, and so you see, like I could bring Max Comet, we're going to bring Iona. Okay, I have to bring somebody to do my damage. Iona's again, you're looking, she's in stuff that it's attainable stuff. Okay, there's not even a main stat on that item. Okay, and I forget what I have her for. So she's got a upgraded Unfortunate Skull. Okay, I have access to level 25s. We're not going to use it. So everybody gets a greed. And if you look here, every item is from a different set on this greed. Okay, and if you're curious, he's 12,000 almost attack. Okay, I can't help it that I have a Pantheon bonus, but I'm doing my best here to negate that by putting on artifacts that they're just unleveled artifacts. Okay, you can get these. So here's Mari. The legendary artifacts, if you're trying to do stage 18, you're able to farm AMR 13, I'd assume. So you can pick up some of these no-name artifacts, but this one really helps her. But anyways, you're looking here again, like you'd be like, well, he's got 220 attack speed on this neck. Yeah, well, you could put in another neck that has 200. It's essentially negligible. Okay, so that's the lineup. Oh, I have one more. The Idril is going to be coming. All right, so the reason that I brought Idril when I first tried to do this, because I haven't been here since the update, I haven't been here in like 2 months. All right, There used to be the exploding bum bugs that I said that would spawn. So during her ultimate, Idril would specifically target in the crowd of all the mobs those exploding bum bugs, so they didn't kill certain heroes. Okay, so just there you go. Okay, that's the ring that Idril's got. That is from past stage 18, but everything else here you can get yourself from stage 16s. Okay. And the artifact that she's wearing is it's trash. Okay, she's going to get an extra 10% damage, but there's not much in the base stat boost. So all the transparency aside, let's get into it. I had a real struggle the first time trying to do this. I remember this was the last GR1-18 that I had to struggle with. And part of the issue was is I was refusing to do a gear swap. And that was because we didn't have the single click mechanic or single tap mechanic to swap gear. So now that you have it, if you honestly want to achieve success, you have to swap gears when you're trying to progress. Once you've swapped into the higher gear stages that you're trying to farm, the swap becomes less and less because you start establishing more sets. But to achieve it first, put your best items. Take that 10 minutes and sort through your gear sets and just build your heroes. And as you saw, most of what I have here, you can get before stage 18, and it's not complete sets. So the power of dominance, off. Excuse me, let's go into the fight. I'm only going to bring 8, okay? And I'm bringing the Lord bonus for Ref. That's it, okay? So Greed isn't here to do damage. He's here more to debuff. Okay? The main damage dealer is going to be one mage Iona. Okay? And you could solo this with Comet. No problem. You could probably solo it with Greed. I don't have a Cerberus. You can solo it with some other kind of Aatrox would be very strong too as a fighter. I'm going to show you the simplest method that I'm aware of with some of the this is a free-to-play lineup. Okay, every one of these heroes, you're almost guaranteed Idril at a like a 50 or 70% rate when you start the game. That Iona's the only one that I bought. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna put my A bomb down first. I'm gonna put him up top. This way, he's starting to get rage already because Abomination, after he goes through 2 cycles of a full rage meter, his ultimate becomes permanent, and that's where that A1 Awaken 1 stun comes into effect. All right. So now I'm going to put my Aeon down when these lizards or whatever, they're piled up on the wall, right? And I'm going to put my Aeon tight and close so that there's no issue about her reaching any of these mobs, all right? So you'd be like, oh my gosh, they're on the wall. This is no good. Like they're hurting my wall. These ones aren't really going to do any damage, okay? So the next hero that I'm going to bring to put down is going to be Greed, so that he's starting to do debuffs to those mobs on the wall, all right? So wait till he gets a debuff on them, and it should be coming shortly. So see that debuff? I'm going to use Iona's ultimate. Boom, debuff's on. So she's going to start wiping people out, okay? So I'm going to put my Idril at the very back here because she's really only here for her ultimate. And as you saw with her placement, she's able to reach the mobs that are being debuffed, okay? With like I think that's a 10% vulnerability of physical damage. So now Murray comes in. And she's going to go right in the middle here so that when she's using her freeze, it's going to get everybody. See how her range is here? It'll come out to this outside. So I let all the mobs pile up before I would engage her freeze. And you'll see you don't even really need the healer in there whatsoever. So now that these ballistas have come out, I'm going to use Idril's ultimate. All right. So now people are taking damage. Here comes the healer, Vortex. And you can put your Vortex in sooner, whatever you want to do, okay? But I used to put Abomination, this hero here, in front and face him down. But I don't think you can do that with this new update in here. So that's why I have him behind the wall. And as you see, he's still completely effective. So I wait till these mobs are all piled in and they're in range. And then I use Murray's ultimate to freeze them. See how they're all frozen? They're not doing any damage, okay? And I'm going to save my Iona's ultimate for when the boss and more mobs have piled up. Now that everybody's here and the party's really begun, and you see that debuff circle from Greed, now I'm going to start laying the power of the ultimates down. So Abomination, you see how he's purple here? He's about to get his permanent ultimate. So now every time he's hitting, he's got an opportunity to stun. So this stage isn't about, okay, everything's up, use it, use it. No, it's about waiting. See how big these guys are? Okay. I'm going to wait till they've piled up, and then I'm going to use Mari's ultimate. All right. And see how easy the boss is just melting because of there's no other targets in the area. So single target Idril is focusing the boss. Okay. And once that boss goes down, all that's left is his buddies here that, they're not going to do anything. And you can see these guys, they're like, oh, mommy, mommy, we're getting our asses kicked. So the ballistas are out of there. Okay. I've never seen that until today. So you can see how healthy the wall still is. It's like 25%. Okay. I have time for an ultimate. These ballistas, as you see here, Idril's targeting them. It's not necessary to kill them. Okay. Don't put anybody in front of the wall. And there's no damage from that. I'm guessing it's like an AoE splash. It used to be those orange big exploding bum bugs that were there, okay? It's not anymore. So let's just party one last time there with the ultimates. It really is that simple. If you bring a correct strategy, correct placements and timing, okay? I can't help it that I have 6-star some of these heroes, but look, it's a 5-star Lightlock, it's a 5-star Mari. And as you saw, I did my best to put on the crappiest artifacts that I had available. So let's look at the total damage. As I said, most of the damage is going to be Iona, and I set her up that way. Greed did a bunch of damage, but he's not there to do it primarily. I want him there for that circle to debuff, okay? So also you could bring a second Lord bonus. If you were around in the game when we had Aeon, is her name Aeon? Fragment summon, or if you have any kind of a cultist Lord bonus, it will actually cause your Iona and your Greed to do, I think it's 20% more damage on CC, the crowd control or frozen enemies, okay? So if we take a quick look here at Iona's Lord skill, yeah, so anytime you've crowd controlled any of them, you're getting a 20% damage increase. All right. So this is new name, playing his favorite game, Watcher Realms, and I'm hoping that this trilogy has helped you accomplish your journey to getting the Vanquisher, because it's really nice to clear all 3 stage 18s and start farming, and it's only the mythics that drop, you get a lot more gold. So if you've enjoyed this video and it's helped you, please share the strategy with your community and the members in your guild. Please be kind, play safe, and be nice.